Howdy folks, I did a little transformation, got a shave, well a trim, got a haircut, feel like a newer man, a little cleaner, fresher. Time to play a game. Very hard this time, very hard. The very first thing I saw were these pairs of threes right here. 3 across the middle, 3 across the bottom, 3 down the right. So we have a 3 right there, folks. We have a 4 down the left side, which tells me that one of these two is our 4. 4. Let's see here. I have a 5 coming down, which tells me it's one of these 5s. Anytime I got a row like this, I always check those lines because those lines are great. 5 up the left, 5 up the right. 4 down the left, 4 down the right. Those are giving some good solutions here. Now I've got 2 3s here, 3 on the right, 3 on the left, so one of these two is a 3. We've got a 3 right there, so that's going to be helpful. 3, that'll help us with the 5. Okay, 3 in the middle, 3 on the bottom. 2 spots for the 3. We only have 2 numbers left in this column here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a 7. Well, we've got a 7 right there. So 7, and that helps us with our 4. We do have a 4 across the top, so we know we have a 4 down here in the bottom. We have a 5 across the bottom, means we have a 5 across the top. And we have a 3 here across the top. So one of these bottom two has to be a 3. Well, we've got a 3 there. So now we have a 3, and then we have a 4. That is helpful. So here we have a 5 and a 7 is what looks like is missing in this cube. Okay, very good. Now we got 3 numbers missing here. We're missing a 9, which is great. So we can put our 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing a 6. Hey, look at that. 6 and a 9. That's going to double lock those 2 spots. It's going to leave me only 1 spot left for my 8. But we do have a 6 here in this bottom row. So this one's going to be our 6. That one's going to be our 9 by default. And then we look at this row here and we see that we are just missing a 1. Looks like. Alright. We are putting some numbers in. Okay. Very good, very good. Alright. So they're getting close to getting us here. So we've got some 1s here. So we've got a 1 and a 1. We've got our 3s, 5, 6, 7s, no other pairs up here. Let's look at these ones here. We have a 1 and a 1 down the center, down the right. So we have 2 spots for our 1. We have 3s, we have 7s, a 7. Okay, let's look at our pairs over here. 2 7s, center and right, and then across the top. So we got 2 spots for our 7. We've got 2 1s, so we can have a 1 anywhere over here. Okay, 2s, here we go. 2 down the left, 2 down the center, 2 across the bottom. There's a 2, that's helpful. We have some 9s here. 9 in the left, 9 on the right, 9 through the center. Only spot left for a 9. Now in this row, only 1 number is left because these 2 are locked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 2 numbers missing here. Let's see, 1, 2, we need a 3. Well, it can't be in the center. 4, and then we're missing a 5. There we go. Now this 3 helps to solve this 3 up here. Clean up my pencil marks. Alright, now we only have 2 numbers left here in this column. 1, 2, 3, we need a 4, 5, 6, 7, and we need an 8. Well, we have an 8 right there, so there's our 8, there's our 4. Okay, that is good. Now we have an 8 across the top, 8 through the middle, 8 down the right. Leaves us just 2 spots for our 8 in this column. Let's see here. We have 3 numbers missing in this right one. Let's take a look here. I know I have a 4, so it can't go here, and I have a 4 that can't go here. So there's our 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a 5, so we can have either a 5 or a 6, it looks like. And I don't have anything that can help us with the 5 or the 6, so that's okay. Let's jot those in. 5 or a 6. Now up here in this cube, we know we're missing a 5 and a 6, and look at this, a 5 and a 6, and an 8, so our 8 is here. So that means this one here can be a 5 or an 8, and that means this one here can be a 6 or an 8. That cube is fully marked out. Okay. Alright, we are chugging along with Crisco here. Alright, paused it there for a second. Okay, I'm back. Let's look and see what we have going on. I'm looking at this row right here because I have a 6 that can't go here. I have a 6 that stops this one. So here's a 6, and possibly here is a 6. Got a 1. Can't have a 2 here. Can't have a 2 here. So in this row, this one could be a 2. And this one could be a 2. In fact, I'm looking here at this 2 and this 2. We only have 2 spots in this column. It can be a 2. Alright, so we've got our 1, we've got our 2 marked, we've got our 3, our 4. So let's see, can't have a 5 here. Either one of these could be a 5 though. We've got our 2 6s, 7, what about 8? Well, you can't have an 8 here, cannot have an 8 here, and cannot have an 8 here. So guess what, folks? 1 spot left for an 8. Alright, now that 8 right there is going to help us down here in this bottom cube. Can't have an 8 there, so there's our 8, and I'm going to clean up my pencil marks. I'm saying that out loud for me more than anything. I tend to forget my pencil marks and I get all kinds of messed up until I clean up those pencils. Okay, I've got 1s here. Let's look at this column right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'd like a 4, but it can't be here, but it could be here. Cannot be here, but it could be here. I got a 4 in the center, I got a 4 in the bottom, and I got a 4 in the middle. So 2 spots for the 4 here. It's a little more wide open down here, so we'll leave that alone. Okay, so I've got my 1, my 2, my 3, I got my 4s marked. I need a 5. It can't be here, but it could be here or here. 6, 7, 8, and then I need a 9. Still got 3 spots for the 9. Okay, so we'll leave that. Let's see here. What else are we missing here in this one? I know we're missing a 1 and a 7. There's nothing very helpful on that. Here we're missing a 1, a 5, and a 6. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, this spot right here looks kind of interesting because I see a lot of numbers horizontally and I see a lot of numbers vertically that are not the same. So if I do a 1, I know it could be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Therefore, this spot can only be a 2. Now, if that can only be a 2, that tells me this one cannot be a 2. I need to clean up that pencil mark. So we have a 5 and a 6 here. What about this one? Could it be a 5? I believe it could. So these two are now locked, 5s and 6s here. We've got a 2 across the bottom, a 2 up the left. So we have these two being 2s. Now, ooh, look at this one. This is great. 2s. Ooh, I didn't even see these. Look, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom, 2 to the left. 2 has to go here, and that resolves that 2. Let me clean up that 2. I don't need that anymore. All of our 2s are resolved. Okay. All right, we like that. What else jumps out at me now? Okay, we just put in some numbers. let's look at this center column here. We've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got a 3, we've got a 4. We need a 5. Can't be here, but it could be here, or it could be here. And then we need a 6. It looks like those 5s and 6s are going to be tricky. Now, I can't have a 6 here in the middle, but it could be here, and it could be here. Then I need a 7. Well, of course, the 7 can't be here, but it could be here or here. That column is now fully marked out. All right, so we've got a 6 and an 8. We've got a 6 and a 7. We've got a 1. Let's look at this row. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then we've got our 6s. Now we need a 7. Well, it can't be here. Can't be here. Could it be one of these two? Sure could. Could be either one of those. 7s are all over up here. Okay, let's look at this. Well, let's finish my look-ins. Let's see if there's anything else that helps to hone it out here. So we need an 8. Well, we can't have an 8 in either one of these two spots because of this one. And then we can't have an 8 here. So this one could be an 8. And then we need a 9, which a 9 can't be here. And it can't be here. And it can't be here. So one of these two is our 9. Okay. So let me look at this cube here really quick, because we have a 9 here, which tells me that there is a 9 above and below in the right. Okay. All right. Okay, let me just stick here. I'm going all over the place. Here's an 8. 8 comes up, so I have to have an 8 in the top and the bottom, right? 8 and an 8. Whoop, I already had the 8. I'm erasing it now. And then what is the other number that I'm missing? Looks like a 7. That silly, silly 7. Okay. All right. Now I saw 9s down here. So I've got a 9 top, 9 bottom. Leaves me 2 spots for a 9. Let's mark those. Stretch my fingers. All right. We've got our 1. We've got our 2. We've got our 3. We need a 4, which can be in 3 spots here. 4. Let's see, we need a 5. We need a 6. We've got our 7. We've got our 9s. Alright, let's look at this row right here. We need a 1, and it cannot be here or here, because we've got a 1 and a 1. So a 1 has to be here or here. We've got a 2, we've got a 3, we need a 4. Cannot be here, and it cannot be here. So it either has to be here or here. We need a 5. Well, it can't be here. Could be here, could be here, and could be here. Oh, lots of 5 choices. What about a 6? Not here. But could be all 3 of these. 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're still got to walk this out just a little bit more here. Got to get some more of these numbers. Okay, I'm to the spot where I almost need to mark down every number that's left. Okay, and let's look in this far right. We'll go column-wise. Okay, I need a 1. Can't be in this top one, but it could be here. Could be here or here. So let's throw those in there. We've got a 2, we've got a 3, we've got a 4, we've got our 5 identified, we've got a 6. Now 7s are going to be everywhere, and I think I just need to throw them all in. 7, 7, 7, 7. Then I need an 8, and it can't be down here, but there's my 8s. Okay, so those are all marked out. My second row's column's done. Look at my third column. Okay, so Can that be a 1? It sure could be, just not there. Got a 2, I've got a 3, we've got our 4, 5, 6, so we need a 7. So everywhere that a 7 can be there, there, here, nope, and here, yes. Alright, let's look at this column here. We've got our 1 marked, 2, 3, we need a 4, which we have our 4 here and here. We need a 5. This one could be a 5. This one cannot. This one could. And this one could. 6, 7, 8, and then we need a 9. This one, could it be a 9? Yes. This one could be a 9. This one cannot. And this one could. Now, if I'm right, this one can only be a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, that's when you get to the point of marking everything, that will help out quite a bit. Because now I need to carefully go back and adjust my marks. So, if I go back to the left, this cube here, a 9 is either here or here. Okay, so here's my 9, so this cannot be 9, which only leaves this top one as a 9. Now the only other number there is a 7, so when I put my 9 in here, there's still other spots for 7s, so it didn't give me a ton, and I got to be careful not to overdo it, especially with my pencil marks. Now this 9 here, one of these 2 spots have to be a 9 because I have a top and a bottom. We just now got the left. So now I'm going to put a 9 there, and then I'm going to clean up my 9 there, carefully there so I don't overdo my marks. Okay, so now we were just on this 4th column. We've got those marked. Now this center column here, we know is already marked correctly because we did that a little earlier. Okay, now let's look at this 6th column. We've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got a 3. Now 4 could be here, not here, not here, or here. So we've got our 4s marked. What about our 5s? Can a 5 go here? It could, so I need to write my 5 in. Could be here, could be here, could be there. Okay, what about our 6s? Not here, yes, not here, and yes. Okay, so that column is completely marked out. Let's go on to the next column here. We need a 1, which cannot be up here. Okay, so it could be any 3 of these. 2, 3, 4. We need a 5, which we've got it up here, but not here. And then any 3 of these could be a 5. 5, 5, 5. We need a 6. Can't be here. Could be here. Not here though. And ooh. Okay. Okay, it can't be here. We have a ghost row of 6s right here because of this 6 and this 6. So no 6s here, no 6s here. So a 6 has to be one of these bottom 2. 6 and a 6 right here. Okay, and then we need a 7. 7 cannot be up here. We already have our 7 marked down here. We need an 8, which could be either one of these and none of these 3, and then our 9. So those are all marked, and then a 5 and a 6 are locked. Okay, so right now, every possibility is marked on the game. So what I am noticing right off the top of my bat is I missed something right here, a 7. How did I miss the 7s? Okay, because here's a 7, this right here, this cube, 1, 2, 3, can't have a 4, can't have a 4, there's our 4. I need a 5, which it can't be at the bottom, so it can be any one of these 3. 6 can't be at the top, so it's got to be one of the bottom 2. 7 cannot be here or here. So it can be a 7 here or a 7 there. Because I was about to say, that top one, I only had one spot to be a 7. Okay. I missed a number, and that can really throw me off. My pencil marks, I don't know how I missed that. Okay. Alright, so now we got to look for some patterns and see what we get. Just kind of letting my mind wander over the numbers and looking at the possibilities. These 5s and 6s. There's this rectangle pattern for some of these very hard ones that my brain has a hard time catching, like this 5 and 6, 5 and 6, 5 and 7. There's this pattern where you can't force one because it'll force the other. See, there's these 2 6s here and there's 2 6s here. So if one is a 6, then this one has a 6, but if this is a 6, this one's a 6. So those numbers will crisscross and force each other. And then so you have a 5 and a 7 here. See how this is a 5 and a 7? So that will force a rotation too on how this 5 and 7 and 6 all interact with this 5 and 7. So I'm going to take out my little piece of paper because my brain can't do it. And I'm gonna just write down, if this is a 6, how will that respond? So if that one is a 6, right here, okay, if that's a 6, then that one means this one has to be a 5. And if that's a 5, that's a 7, and that's a 5. Okay, so see right there, that won't work. Because if this is a 6, that makes this a 5. If this is a 5, that makes this a 7. If that's a 7, this is a 5, which makes this a 6. So these two both can't be 6s. So see, there's this odd pattern here where you see certain numbers that are tied together. You have to just see it through just one number. My brain can't see it all the way, so I just jot it down. But just those 4 numbers right there. So this one can't be a 6. Now if it's a 7, which it has to be, which is going to make this one a 5, which is going to make this one a 7. Now with this being a 5, that's going to make this one our 6. Okay. Alright, now let me clean up my pencil marks here before I get too carried away, because I'm just going to get confused. So no more 6s, because those are done. And I got my 7 here, so now this one is a 1. And I've got a 1 and a 7, which makes this one an 8. Okay, which makes this one a 7. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up my 7s down here. Only one spot left to be a 7. Now with 1 and 5 locked in over here, and of course there's a 1 there, that makes this one a 4. With that 4, that makes this one a 5. With that 5, it makes it a 1. Okay. Alright, so with this 5 coming up, this is the only spot left for a 5. Now with that 5, this one's a 6. Pencil marks, very important. Now we have a 5 and a 7 already, so the only one left here is a 4. We've got our 5 here, so that makes this one our 8. Okay, we've got our 8 here, so that makes this one our 6. We've got our 6 there, that makes this one our 5. Makes this one here our 6. Okay, and the numbers are just going to keep going. So here's a 1 and a 5, here's a 1 and a 5. So this can't be a 1 or a 5. The only number left is a 7. Okay. We've already got our 5 here, so that makes this one our 1, which makes this one our 5, which makes this one our 1. Okay, we've got a 1 and a 5 already. 4 is the only number left, and 5 is the only number left in this cube, row, or column. So there you have it, folks. Very hard puzzle. That rectangle solution was the key that I still don't fully grasp, but I'm starting to recognize it. Anytime you see those kinds of patterns where they will force each other one way or the other, that one I only had to write down 5 numbers to see how they would resolve. I'm recognizing it, I just don't recognize how to solve it in my head. But a lot of pairs, double eliminations were really good. And there we have it, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, again, feel free to pause it at the beginning, print off the game, and give it a whirl yourself. Thanks for following. Please feel free to comment, leave some challenges or suggestions. I enjoy those. And we will guys catch you at the next game. Thanks for watching. Bye.